Hello, Boris Pravisham here. It's been an eventful week. Apart from the ones I've uploaded to the workshop, I've lost all of my files, all of my game saves. I had a hard drive failure, and I was an idiot, didn't back them up, and they're all gone. I've tried my best to get them back, but they're not coming back. And so everything is way behind schedule. I lost over a month's worth of builds that I was going to use for here on YouTube, including this ship, the supply and repair ship. I had stage 3 almost finished for release on Thursday, last Thursday that is, but I had to rebuild the entire thing. I have a terrible memory, so I kind of built 2 different ships. They're roughly similar, but I think I like this one a little bit more. So if we circle around, you can see that it's mostly finished. The exterior is on. There's not much going to be changed about that. It's mostly going to be interior work from here on out, apart from the paint job, of course. I am terrible at painting, by the way, so if you would like to give it a go, I will be putting this stage up on the workshop as usual, so you can download this. There will be some minor changes, so it won't be the completed version, but you can have a go at painting it if you like, because I'm terrible at that, and I fear that I'm going to ruin it. But anyway, the first change that you will notice are these thruster pods on the side. They're not really pods, but I've just been calling them that. There's 2 on the back there, and we come around, and then it sort of sweeps back into the body, and there are 2 more. And on the inside, behind those front thrusters there, I will show you from the inside later, there are another 6 small thrusters pointing backwards. They can fit inside there. All the thrusters I've put on the inside, and there are quite a few of them, they've all been tested very rigorously. I've covered the ship with gyros and tried to sort of spin very quickly whilst going fast to make sure that the inertia dampeners, the extra flame pushed out by the inertia dampeners, weren't being caught on the walls and destroying anything. But I think I've tested it rigorously enough to prove that they don't. If we go around to the other side, into the darkness, there is the side door, which is the entrance. I was going to do sort of like a little catwalk thing. I'm not really sure. But the thing is that anything I put out here is destroyed by those thrusters. But yes, that door leads straight into the hangar. We'll go in there in a minute after we have a look at this connector. There are 2, one on either side, and they allow you to sort of fuel up other ships or supply other ships. They would come and park next to it, and I've done a little bit of... I'm not sure how well this will work, but if you go up close here, you'll see that there's a gravity of 0.1 going out that way. I've got to make the field a little bit bigger. That's not finished yet. But the idea being that anything that comes out of here is pushed out that way. So it doesn't matter where the collectors are on your ship, even if they're, say, on the bottom. If you come up like this, then they will be pushed back into the collector, no matter where they're from. I know that the connector does apply a little bit of velocity to them, but not enough, I think. So it will shoot out. I'll show you that in a second. But yes, that's all connected into the same system. So let me just set up and show you this connector. So what I've done is inside this connector I've put my rifle. It's just sitting in there. Of course, you could pull anything from anywhere in the ship and put it in the connector up there. And then if we go into a control panel, I've put the port and starboard connectors in a group here. All that does is select the connector down below. So you would then just say throw out. And if we look over there, we see the gun go flying, and it will never stop, obviously. But that would hopefully have connected up with another ship. So you could say, for example, refuel a ship by pushing uranium out of here. I just remembered I do actually have some uranium in the ship, so if I go to the reactors, See, there's one lot of reactor there, and then I move it down to the port collector, which is still set to throw stuff out, and there we go. And that's how you would refuel a ship. And across there you can see the side thrusters. I'm not entirely sure I like the look of them sticking out like that, but we did need more thrust than just those ones provided, and of course they're up the front, so I'd like it to be a little bit more balanced than that. Not that it really matters, but it's nice. We move around to the front of the ship. You see it's sort of built down here to provide a little bit of room for those thrusters, and on top I've decided to put a landing pad so anyone with a small enough ship can actually land here and have access into the top of the ship. We'll have a look in there later. I think it does look a little bit like a frog, though. You know, that bit underneath is kind of like the throat skin where they make sound or whatever it is. I must admit my knowledge of amphibians is sorely lacking, but that bit does look a little bit frog-like. I mean, the rest of it doesn't at all. I mightn't know much about frogs, but I do know for certain that they don't have a door on their hind quarters. They also don't fly through space. This analogy isn't going so well, so perhaps we should move on. So this is the ship from above. You can see the collectors are still there, and there's a bit of a pattern. I quite like it, and it's all got that heavy armor reinforcement underneath it as well. So it's quite a heavy ship. I mean, don't tell anyone, though, there's no heavy armor under this bit, but it looks like there is. I don't want it to be too heavy. Remember, this isn't a military vehicle, it's a commercial vehicle, and as such, I've tried to make it sort of look nice, but commercially. You know, this isn't meant to be extremely aesthetically pleasing. I mean, I try to make my things look aesthetically pleasing, but you have to remember that this is sort of like the truck, the large van of the space engineer's world. So it's not meant to look like a sleek, fast, agile fighter. It's meant to look chunky and workmanlike. But we can move around to the bottom. Again, I'm not sure about the thrusters sticking out like that. I never like the look of thrusters just sticking out. The thruster texture and the look of them isn't that great, I don't think. Otherwise, I think I've got the pattern nice and sorted. You can't tell where the engine room is. If you remember, if you've got a good sense of direction, spatial awareness, then the engine room is underneath in there, and it's heavily protected. There's also no easy access up here through the back door. Now, of course, if I just left this open, I could get straight in, but I've added this here. It's not much, but it's something. I didn't know how else to sort of stop anyone from just flying in. I've also covered up the rotors there so they're not immediately obvious. All sort of very basic security features. Let's open the back door. The lock is on, so we turn it on, unlock, we switch it back off so we don't accidentally change it, and then we reverse this. There opens the door. We'll get rid of this thing, that's just temporary. And you can see the door opening. And this is annoying. It constantly goes out of whack with each other, even though that's magnetically clipped. So if I just go over here, just find this, and then I'll unlock the magnetic clip which is inside. I'll talk about the landing gear, talk about that in a second. See, it sort of slid down, and now it's together. But the next time that goes up and then back down again, it will go out of sync. And I have no idea why. It's annoying, though. We can see that the only thing different about the hangar is that the landing gear that were in the middle, I've removed them. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that problem, but I've had to remove them because there are other things underneath this now. I'm not sure how I'm going to hold anything in here, or even if it's completely necessary. If you have any ideas of where to put a landing gear or something without it looking too out of place, this wall I've reserved for another little project. I'll have to wait and see if it works, though. None of this is lit up yet. I will be lighting this up. It's very dark and grey in here at the moment. Nothing's changed in here. This is all the same. We'll head to the engine room. We can just walk through here, I suppose. Again, nothing's changed through there. If we come down, well, apart from the connectors shooting out the side, but we've already looked at them. This is the engine room. Again, nothing in here has changed apart from some extra protection. But if we go in here, there's a little door which allows us to access the belly. Now, I've put some sort of miscellaneous stuff down here. There's some gyros. I might add some more gyros later, especially since they're all in one place at the moment. We probably need some more, just as a sort of redundancy measure, in any case, as well as to make it a little bit more agile, but I think that's all right at the moment. And we've also added some thrusters. Like I said at the start, I've tested all of these, and they seem to all be fine. I've tested the length and any sideways movement, and yeah, nothing moves. And this is why I had to get rid of the landing gear, because they were one thing that it did hit. I could get rid of these, but it's nice to have the extra thrust. It didn't speed up too quickly, and I didn't want to ruin the outside look by adding more thrusters to it. Yeah, I think this will work all right. Let's head to the top. So we go back out through the engine room. We go back up. Oh yes, in here, that's the frog throat bit. If you remember from outside there, the two facing the other way. There's a little bit of a room there now. If we come up here, back out here, into the main hall, there's the bridge. Nothing's changed in here. I'm not sure if I'll do anything else in there. We come up here, up to the top. I had quite a few suggestions to turn this sort of like maybe into a mess hall or add some medic bay sort of things. I ran out of time. I wanted to get this out, a little bit quicker, especially since it's very late. And I haven't done much in here. That has to stay there. That pipe can be moved over a little bit more to the left, I think. Otherwise, and that also has to stay there. Otherwise, I've left it completely bare. The only stuff that's in here needs to be there. So I will have to sort of work around it, especially since now we have the access up to here. I might need to put a second door in there, sort of a fail-safe, to make it a little bit more difficult to get in. But we have this landing pad up here now. So this is a little bit more of a formal entrance. So I don't know if we should just be covering it in stuff like a mess hall and those sort of things. I don't know. Perhaps that's all right. That goes straight down to the bridge, yes. These are here as normal. We can just look over this. The other thing I've added is around here to the side. I conscientiously, I'll just go up here first, I conscientiously made sure that I could access every bit of sort of all the working parts, that I could access them. So I can get to all of the thrusters in the ship to repair them if needs be. These are for the top of the ship, the two of them there. You can also get to the lock. That's for the door. That's the door you can see down through there. That's the lock that holds the door up while you're flying. You can get to all of the thrusters, but so if you need to maintain them or anything like that, I think that was a nice little bit of an extra challenge that I gave myself. You can go down here, and this is inside the thruster pods. So you can see there the 6 that I was talking about before that provide a little bit more backward thrust again. But yes, that's about it. All the changes I've made so far, that took quite a while. I'm thinking I will do one more part. I will fix up a few of the aesthetic things, like inside here. I'll try and work on, some of the ideas that people have given me. Plus, I'll also paint it, which I'm not looking forward to. Oh, and, light it up, stuff like that. But I'm really not looking forward to painting it because I'm afraid I'm just going to ruin it. So, if you're a good painter, I would like to see some suggestions on how to do this. So I'm not entirely sure. I think I'll end this video just by flying it around a little bit. So here we go. You can see the speed in the corner if you want to get an idea of the acceleration. I've left the back door open. I'll just sort of close that. It doesn't really matter actually because the back door is fairly well secure. But we can close that all entirely whilst moving. I've turned the dampeners off so it's still moving. And we're almost up to 50. So that's reasonable acceleration. I think that's good for a large commercial ship such as this. Thank you for watching. I hope you've been enjoying me just building stuff. I don't know how interesting all of this sort of thing is. But yes, thank you and goodbye.